Yeah. They may in fact reunify actually after the Civil War's over. They do that sometimes. So, yeah. Well, it's a shame, but never mind. At least the Union State didn't win. That would have been really, really awful. So yeah. Oh, apparently the Spanish colonies have changed hands now to the Carlists. For some reason. I guess the Carlists must have got their hands on some ships. But whatever. War's still going on in Scandinavia. I swear every time it looks like Norway's had it, they take back a few more bits of territory, because they've still got Narvik up here, which is now their capital. And they've still got a few bits down here, like Kalmar and Malmo. But yeah, no, I think it's a pretty foregone conclusion now that they've lost. Even if they are fighting to the last gasp. And Japan has actually annexed Formosa as well now. So both the wars of independence in Asia have completely failed. And, oh, hang on. Oh, in the Fengtian Republic, which was this Manchurian puppet of Japan, has also tried to declare independence and is getting its ass whooped by Japan. Which, again, is bad news for me, actually, because it'll mean I share a proper border with Japan. Which is not good. Not good at all, in fact. Right, okay, so tech. I've been ignoring it, and I shouldn't have been. I've now got 3 finished tech teams that are just sitting around doing nothing, which is bad. So, first things first, logistics 1936. You, Boris, you can research that. Mikhail, you can research People's Army. Nizhny Tagil factories can research production 1935. Or possibly someone else, I'm not sure. No, it looks like they're the best guys for the job. So yeah, they can research that. We're catching up technologically, which is good news. I'm also going to set a few of these infantry divisions down here. No, sorry, the militia divisions down here. To upgrade, not into Militia 6, instead of Militia 5. You can actually, it's a new feature in Darkest Hour, which you didn't have in the original games. You can choose what certain units upgrade into. Say, for example, I've got a militia division here, which I can actually choose to upgrade into infantry, or cavalry, or a garrison unit. So, or I can tell them to not upgrade at all. But I'm going to have them upgrade into ordinary infantry, because they're just, well, they're better. So yeah, I need to find the rest of the militia. Oh, already you can see some of our infantry divisions have upgraded to infantry 1931, which is good news. Right, yeah, here's a bunch of them. Right, you can upgrade into infantry. Right, yeah, this is going to take a little while, actually, so I might off-screen this. So, yeah, BRB while I sort out all this crap. This will happen every now and again as the game draws on and lots of sort of little itty-bitty, fiddly, micromanagey bits like this start to happen. So, yeah, BRB. Okay, that's now done and sorted. I was having a look, actually, after I did that, at some of the decisions which have popped up in our absence along the side here. Some of them are quite important, like this one about the Don Kuban Union. First one on the list, the anarcho-syndicalist uprising. Spain is collapsing into anarchy, and the CNT-FAI is our brother in supporting the cause of the working class. We should send aid at once, and we are going to do that. We are going to publicly support them. We'll get a few diplomatic relation changes with some different countries. We'll lose some money, manpower, and supplies, but then it's not very much. And our belligerence will increase by plus 1%, which isn't very much either. So we'll do that. It might give them a bigger chance of winning, even though it seems, to be honest, that they're winning anyway. I just want to be certain of that because, well, it'll help a lot when the war with Germany kicks off, because what will happen essentially is France will basically try to do what Germany did in 1940 when they invaded France and Poland. France is finally going to get really ticked off with Germany, mainly over sort of historical grievances, not to mention the fact that they don't have Alsace-Lorraine. and France is going to try and blitzkrieg their way through Belgium, quite ironically, and try and invade Germany in around 1938-ish, so next year, essentially. And quite often, they get their ass handed to them by Germany. And that's a little bit less likely to happen if Spain is red, essentially. Although it can very much still happen anyway. So yeah, it all depends on sort of like when it happens and if it happens and that kind of thing, and the strength of the French versus the Germans, that sort of thing. If it does kick off, it will give us an opportunity to, as the Russians over here, do a bit of a land grab, whereby we can, while the Germans are distracted fighting the French, we can grab as much of Eastern Europe as we possibly can, provided I think we've got our military upgraded to a point where it's actually going to be of some use whatsoever in a war. But sometime before that, I hope to have a good deal of Russia back in our hands, like the Don Kuban Union down here, the Alash Order, a bit of Mongolia. Yeah, I want all this back, hopefully, by the time it all starts to kick off with Germany. So, yeah. Right, anyway, so let's unpause. Oh, wait, no. First, we will... I'm actually going to save the game, because I haven't saved it in a while. It does have autosave turned on, but I'm not overly reliant on it if I can help it. So let me just do that. And, right, Don Kuban Union and Semyon Budonyi. Right, the Don Kuban Union is this little yellow country down here. So, yeah. With stabilization of our motherland, we can now start looking beyond our borders. To the south lies pseudo-capitalist Cossack state led by Hetman Krasnov. Soviet Marshal Budonyi offered our government to instigate a coup in the Don Kuban Union using his significant influence among a large part of the Cossack population. Shall we offer him support? We can choose to help him, we don't need him, or we can just cancel the entire event. At the bottom, we are going to help him, and what will happen is it will lower relations with the Don Kuban Union, it will increase our belligerence, but also trigger the Soviet coup event, and what will happen is either there's a chance of this succeeding or failing. If it succeeds, we'll get all the Don Kuban Union as part of Russia. If it fails, we'll end up at war with them, essentially. We do, however, have Georgia on our side, so if it does come to war, we might be... Well, I think we'll probably be alright, really. But it's anyone's guess, I suppose, at the end of the day. So yeah, we're going to help him. Don Kuban Union falls. Today, the new hetman of the Don Kuban Union, Semyon Budonyi, met our Prime Minister and announced that Don Kuban Union became an integral part of the new Russia. All our citizens are happy. Marshal Budonyi has achieved a new victory. Glory to the new Red Cossacks. Don Kuban Union is no more, and it's now part of Russia, which is brilliant. So that's more industrial capacity for us, as well as more resources and more manpower, which is fantastic. It also bridges a gap between us and the Georgians, which is also very useful. So yeah, that's one nation on our list ticked off. Thankfully, without any bloodshed, because, you know, like I said, there's a chance that it will go quite badly and you'll end up at war. Okay, so the Union State has been officially defeated and annexed by the US. There's still a few bits down here controlled by the Pacific States of America. Like I said, they'll probably reunify soon. And New England will probably rejoin the Union as well. So, yeah. Also, I have 3 cavalry divisions for some reason. I think they might have been the Cossack ones from down here, actually. So I guess I'll dump them down here, near the Crimea. They can just sort of sit around and do their own thing. Okay. The Alash Order's Russians are oppressed. The leaders of the Alash Order, which is this big blue blob here in Central Asia, the leader of Alash Order's Russian community have complained to us that they are oppressed under the government's ethnicity. I'll start again, shall I? The leaders of Alash Order's Russian community have complained to us that they are oppressed under the government's ethnicities policy. Such an insult to the Soviet people must not remain unpunished. So we have 4 options. Do nothing, which will increase our national dissent, which is bad. Covert operations will be good enough. We'll get a bunch of claims on some of these blue territories down here. World revolution must liberate them, which will bring us instantly into war with the Alash Order. Or we can encourage them to secede and rejoin the Soviet Republic, which will essentially mean that there is a chance that some of these blue territories at the top will join us. However, that's not good enough as far as I'm concerned, and although this might be, in hindsight, maybe a bad decision, I'm actually going to push for the whole lot. All of this, including this green bit down here, it's all going to come back. It's all going to be part of the Soviet Union, or, sorry, the Soviet Republic, or whatever. So, yes. Nothing short of war will solve this problem. So, yeah, we will go, World Revolution must liberate them. War with Alash Order. Brilliant. Okay, right, I've just realised this bit down here is undefended. Well done, me. Right. What I'm going to do is, right, this down here is it's marshes and desert, so I might be able to strategically redeploy a few units down here before the Alash Order get there. But if they don't, just in case, I'll move some dudes down here. There we go. Meanwhile, a lot of this, our troops aren't as upgraded as I would like them to be up here, actually, which is kind of bad. But I'm hoping we'll just be able to overrun them by force of numbers. So we'll have you guys move down here into, where is that? Barnaul. Okay, this is unprotected up here as well. That's kind of bad. So we'll have you lot attack Kochetav. They might not win, but it will slow the Alash Orders down. Up here, you two can both attack. What was that? Kustane. Simultaneously. This is important. This is where I'll give you tips and try to explain how combat works as we go through it. So you've already seen, you click drag, right click on there to attack places. Attacking one province from 2 separate directions gives you a bonus in combat, basically. Because you're attacking them from 2 directions, which means their defense is lowered because they have to defend from 2 different directions at once. So yeah, the more directions you can attack an enemy province from, the better, the more chances of victory you have. Also, you have to take into account things like the actual terrain, which you can see a bit more easily here. So a lot of this is desert and mountains and stuff, so it's going to be quite difficult in places to actually get at. And you also have to take into account rivers. It's more difficult to attack across a river, and it's also easier to defend someone attacking you from across a river. That sort of thing, you know, so... right. You chaps can... Right, you lot move from Orenburg down to there, and you lot can attack there simultaneously as well. Let's see. We do have a few air units. We have quite a few interceptors and 1 or 2 tactical bomber squadrons. All of which are so out of date they're practically useless anyway, so I'm not going to bother redeploying them to Central Asia really now to help with this, because they'll do basically nothing. I will, however, take some of these guys. I'll take the cavalry we've got over here. I need to promote this general. You have to promote generals to higher ranks in order to be able to command higher numbers of troops. That's important, because if you have guys going into battle and the general that's commanding them isn't a high enough rank, you suffer a huge penalty in battle. So these cavalry units can redeploy over here, because they move quite fast in low infrastructure areas like this, which is important. Fast moving units are very good to have, because it allows you to take a lot more territory a lot more quickly, and it also allows you to encircle enemy units as well. and cut them off.